Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Simply Nerdy. This is Anthony hosting today, and I am joined by Steven.
Yo!
Our fearless leader.
No.
Lisa.
Hey!
And David.
Hello.
The usual gang forum, as we call it. Sure. Anyway, so we wanted to do a recording of, kind of forward-looking of the things that we're excited about that are coming up in 2022, this upcoming year. So, and with that, we want to we wish you a happy new year.
Yeah! This is our first episode of the year.
Woo.
Yes. We have a lot of games on this list to talk about, so I'm just going to kind of dive right in so we don't make this too long and make you all very bored and want a TLDR or something. So I'll just jump right in. So the one of the first and earliest that I know I'm at least interested in is Pokemon Legends Arceus. That one
is it Arceus or Arceus?
They said it's whatever you want.
I say
official
Arceus.
From the Pokemon Company, but yes, either one.
So I'll just say, at least I'll start with why I'm excited for this game, is that it's kind of looking like this game could end up shaping up to be what I kind of hoped Sword and Shield would be.
Yes.
Which is basically Pokemon of the wild, and it kind of looks like they're taking that direction legitimately this time. I don't know how well it's actually going to hold up in the end. How well they'll actually translate the systems of Pokemon to an open world adventure. There's a part of me that's still a little bit leery about the fact that not the fact, I don't know. It doesn't necessarily seem to me that they're making any huge changes to the RPG systems of the Pokemon games themselves, and I've never really been fond of, the never changing, never upgrading systems of Pokemon. It's basically as advanced as the very first original Final Fantasy. You press this menu button and it does this, and then numbers happen. I don't know. I've never been I've never been the biggest fan of the systems in Pokemon, but I've always been at least, somewhat intrigued because, it's such a huge property in the world. And there's a part of me that keeps on wondering, maybe I need to give it another chance. Maybe I need to, Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Arceus could be it.
It looks like the perfect jumping in point, assuming that it ends up being a well-made game.
I'm also pretty interested. So Pokemon Sword or Pokemon Shield is the only one I played, actually. That was my first ever Pokemon game. I've never played any of the older ones, and I enjoyed it pretty well. Like, I didn't think it didn't blow me away, but I had fun with it. And I bought it because I was excited, thinking like, oh, they have this open areas. That sounds fun. It's a little bit more than what the old Pokemon games were. So Pokemon, this new one coming this year, looks even more in that direction. So I'm excited about that. I'm not expecting them to do everything right.
The best part of Sword and Shield was in those wild areas, is what they called it. Those wild areas were so much fun, and I loved the raids that you could play with multiple people. I did that multiple times with my work crew at work. During our breaks and during our lunches, we'd get together, we'd link up together, and we'd do a couple of raids during our break. It was so much fun, and that was some of the best parts. But this Pokemon Arceus is going to be exactly what I was hoping Sword and Shield would be. Is Pokemon of the Wild, like Anthony was saying. So, and like David said too, there's probably going to be some mistakes, but we'll have to wait and see. But I love how in this Arceus, they do not transition you into that big and then have you show up in a random world, in a random setting to do a battle. You literally start a battle right where you are, and you just throw a Pokemon out and you start battling immediately. There's no loading screen, there's no transition. It's just yes, thank you, this is what I wanted.
I have a bit of trepidation. I hope that they do it right. Unpopular opinion perhaps, but I hoped that Sword, which is the one I played, would have been better than it ended up being. I would like to see some, in this new game, I would like to see some high quality animation.
Okay, I think the next big one is probably Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Yeah!
So that one was kind of a surprise reveal last year, and to be honest, it's looking really great. I mean, Kirby has always been kind of I feel like ever since Superstars, which was one of the best Super Nintendo games in my personal opinion, ever since then Kirby has kind of never been as good. It's been kind of one of Nintendo's B properties, if you will. It's not the A team, and it kind of seems like this is the first time that they're presenting something that looks like that could change. To me, my first impression, they didn't show us much, but my first impression was, wow, this looks like Kirby meets Super Mario Odyssey, and I couldn't give it higher praise, honestly.
It's interesting how we're like excited for the new Pokemon because it's like Breath of the Wild, and we're excited for Kirby because it's going to be like Mario Odyssey.
Well, I mean, there can't be anything wrong with copying two of the greatest games of this generation, or all time even.
It
as
looks
long as
really
they're just
fun.
taking the gems and not the whole crown.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Hey,
That was
a well turned turn of phrase. Well done.
Thank you. Mic drop. I'm out of here. Signing off.
You peaked. No, I'm just kidding.
I have peaked. He goes downhill from here.
I've actually thought in the past that a 3D Kirby game seems fun. I mentioned this, I think, in some previous video. Like, I played Kirby Star Allies, and it's like presented as like a 2D platformer, but there's zero challenge because you can literally float over everything, right? I think it would be kind of cool if Kirby was like a 3D platformer. I feel like it would automatically solve some of the problems I have.
I'll have to piggyback off of David. It's been a long time since I've been excited about a Kirby game, but here I am. This is probably a day one purchase for me. I'm super excited for this.
I'm also extremely excited. When I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks different. Like, as kids, both Anthony and I played a lot of Kirby. I would say this is a very different concept from what I've seen in the past from the Kirbys that we've played. And it's really easy to get 3D wrong, but it looks like they're going to get it right. So I'm just like, I'm going to get it. It's going to be good, I hope. So, yeah.
I do have to say, I said something wrong that I have to repent of. There has been one other Kirby game since Superstars that was actually really good, and that is Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Oh
yes.
Oh, I love that game.
That one is good because you can't float.
Yes.
It has actual challenge.
I'm going to go to the next one I think we're probably all equally excited about, I hope. And that would be Mario plus Rabid Sparks of Hope.
Like, the first game was an absolute surprise on the Nintendo Switch on the year it launched, and it was so good. And even I had a blast playing it until, like I said, the difficulty spike spoke up. But no, seriously, I'm super excited for a sequel finally, and the sequel looks really good. I'm really excited to see the direction they're going in and see what other kind of Nintendo spin-off characters we're gonna get.
Yeah, I'm excited. This has definitely been one of my most surprising favorites. You know, the original game, and then just I'm just delighted we're getting a sequel because I remember the first time they announced Mario plus Rabbids, I was like, that is the stupidest idea I have ever heard. Why are they doing this? And I feel like the entire internet reacted similarly because I remember hearing that the poor dev team was really, really down about it.
Yeah, I feel bad too. Sorry, guys.
Because,
I mean, you guys did a great job in the end, though. Good job.
Yeah, well, because I think it was leaked early before they were able to actually do a proper announcement, and
they got them all nervous.
They just showcases how good of work they did on it because they made me a believer. I thought it was going to be really stupid, and then I was like, this game is incredible, and I played every last. I think I legitimately 100%ed everything in that game. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the new one, and I'm delighted to learn that it's apparently Q1 next of this year. Okay, The next one on my list then is Splatoon 3. Steven, our resident Splatoon expert, go take it away.
Yeah.
I am a fanatic. Okay, so I have a lot of high hopes for this new Splatoon game, particularly in the single-player campaign department. The first game had a fantastic single-player story. Splatoon 2 dropped the ball a lot, but made up for it in the DLC. So I have a lot of hope that they're going to try some. I really hope they try a lot of new things with this campaign, which looks like they are based off the gameplay we've seen. They're getting a little bit more daring. They're getting a little bit more ambitious, which is awesome. And I love the style that they're going in. The improvements they've made on Turf Wars looks awesome. I love the new animations for the beginning of Turf Wars. They look fantastic. And I really hope that they bring back Salmon Run and that they make some adjustments and make it better, because Salmon Run was my favorite part about Splatoon 2. Just because it was you and 3 other friends versus a horde of salmon. It was great.
Splatoon, for me, becomes Respawn, the game.
Oh my god.
That's my story. That's my story too. It's not fun to do that.
How dare
Like the times when I can actually take turf and not get sniped by someone and actually take out a few people, those times are really, really fun. I a lot of enjoyment on those times. The problem is I'm just not good enough to maintain that. And so
You can't get good if you can't stay alive long enough to practice.
Yeah.
That's true.
There you go.
Heard it here first.
David
David speaks truth.
But it's actually a well-made premise. I think it's a very unique and fun take on the battle royale shooter style game, and I can appreciate that for what it is, even if I'm not the best at it. And it looks like they're planning on doing a little bit more in terms of lore exposition, for a single-player campaign, and that definitely interests me. So it's looking very intriguing. I probably will still suck at the online, and I don't know if the respawn issue that I have will change, but I can appreciate that it looks well made, and I'm going to check it out.